Welcome again to the next. Well, this is the second edition of 5 on 5 with two guys, Mr. Darren Clark, Derek Headley, and we hope these questions are very intriguing. We hope we can get this thing popping. I gotta tell you, Darwin, you asked me some very interesting questions in our first episode of
Right.
5 on 5 with two guys, and I think that what we're doing is probably going to open us up a little bit to vulnerability. So
You
I
should
think
tell
I'm
me
up to the
before.
challenge. Are you up to the
Before
challenge?
I am, but you need to have this disclaimer before I sign up, man. So,
But
but I can
but
see.
we said, look, if we can't answer the question, we can opt out. That's fine. I'm good for that.
Do you guys have the fifth in Canada? You can plead a fifth.
Well, we I don't think we use that, but it might be
Okay.
something very similar.
I plead the fifth on my 14th, so I'm good. I'm
All
covered.
right. So who wants to go first? You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
You go first. I like to be late. Let's go.
All right, man. So let's start it off like this. So you lived in Barbados when you were very young, and you probably had some very hard times, like many people living there, right? And is there any secret to success as a business person living in the USA? And do you think that your past, with the horse racing, et cetera, helped shape you to who you are now and your approach to life?
It it did in certain aspects. I grew up on what was at the time probably a developing country or third world country. So things were really hard. I remember I was about 10 or 11 years old and I found out my mom was making 13 bucks a week. And I mean, I'm an old guy, but I'm not that old. But can you fathom feeding three kids of 13 bucks a week? And we made it. I don't think I ever went to bed hungry. Um, she made miracles. And I remember one Christmas, she brought me a nice toy and stuff like that. But anyway, the main question is whether that shaped me for success in America. And the answer is yes. And coming up that hard and disciplined, and it doesn't mean you have to come up hard and disciplined, but you have to be disciplined to achieve anything in life, whether it's weight loss, which I need to do, financial, whatever it is, you need discipline. And every morning you wake up, you have to attack it like a new day. I have to stay on this path, have to stay focused, I have to go chase my money or chase whatever you're chasing. So that repetition after repetition, it builds character and it builds who you become. So yes, definitely, I think Barbados, being raised that way, have shaped my life to be who I am today.
Pretty cool, man. Shouts out to Barbados. I hope Barbados played a role with me too and can help and guide me too a little bit. And to be honest, and persons like yourself, um, it's always good to talk with. Just to help a little bit too as well. Knowing that, let me move on to my second question. Have you ever been in a situation where you know that you are the person of power in the room and you knew it? And did you ever get that urge to manipulate the mood of the room just to show that you are the most powerful guy in the room?
Oh, wow, that's pretty deep there. um, in my simple brain, I'm always the most powerful in the room. I am. I mean, reality, I'm not. But to be myself and to present or beg for what I need, I need to become that person. So almost like I have a alter ego. I have this thing in me that I know each and every individual wake up, put the pants on. Don't mean to be cliche, but they have to go through the same routine I go through. So why not be the biggest person in the room? And I think if you dominate, and I mean in a nice way, you'll normally win the room, whether you're the most powerful or not. Um, you question people in the room, and based on their answer, you give your story that relates to it. You don't have to lie, but there's always a similar story. So to me, that takes your power away because now you put yourself on the same level as them, mentally. So I have, I don't do it on purpose. I don't do it with any malice, but to get what I want, whether I am selling or being sold, I become the most powerful in the room.
Um, okay, so here's my next question to you. In a rapid changing business environment, how do you continuously adapt your strategies to remain competitive?
Well, you have to change with the tide. You really do. I mean, I've learned from a long time ago. If you don't change, you become the change, and you let that sink in for a while. If you don't change with the times, then you get left behind. So you have to change. I mean, now it's all high tech, online. Case in point, I went to a meeting today, and I still took my business cards with me, and I still handed out my business cards because that's what old people do. Younger generation, they're like, here's my phone, here's all my info, boop, and right away you have all the info. But it's what us old people do. So it's not that I'm resistant to change. It's more or less an icebreaker for me. So I still do some things old school, but you have to change with the changing times for sure. And sometimes you're chasing, but sometimes you may be ahead of the curve too. So I would say stay relevant. Um, don't be resistant to the changes. Absolutely not. You have to become one with them and roll with the changes. Don't ever be resistant.
Well, I hope these questions are intriguing enough.
Yeah, and I don't think I give that a fair answer because there's so much caveats to change, But the main thing is not being resistant to change.
All right, cool. All right, this question is going to be a little bit more. I think you'll probably think about this on a more emotional side, but I'll
Okay.
I'll ask you anyways. So what does intimacy mean to you beyond sex? And do you think a person can love or be loved without the sexual relationship with their partner?
At this golden age of my life, definitely yes. When I was younger, I would probably say hell no. So it's a situational answer is where you're at in your life. But if you can get over the hump, literally, of sex, you will have a more meaningful relationship. The trust, the commitment, that is more important than the actual physicality. Um, I know sex plays a big role in a lot of people's relationships, but it doesn't have to. I mean, I can love a person, be with them, and not have the sexual intimacy. Um, I think trust, faith in that other person, and commitment is well worth the relationship without having to add the complexity of sex.
We might have to start a brand new podcast about.
About relationships.
But you know,
Because
I'll
sex,
take the
sex,
answer.
sex can be complicated because a partner can withhold sex from a partner to get what they want. You know what I mean? Whatever, or use it. Not necessarily to withhold, but use it to further their whatever they're trying to achieve. So it's not that important.
All right, yeah, I agree with you. To a point, I agree with you. But yeah, I get it. That's your answer. So moving on. So there was a story, right, of a young girl found dead upstate New York last week, and her father, who is from Montreal, was charged for the death of this little girl, his daughter. When you hear stories like that, what goes through your head?
Well, first of all, I would love to know the truth behind the story. What happened, and I cannot envision if I had a daughter that I'll ever kill her. So that throws me for a loop to think that you could be that callous, cold, um, no empathy at all. We had a similar story over here. A guy, but he had some mental issues. But he killed his three daughters, and I think the eldest daughter was 13, and he suffocated them. I don't want to get too graphic, but yeah, I mean those stories disturb me. Um, I get really angry, and I'm like most other decent humans. I wish I could do something about it. Like literally take the guy out and beat him for the rest of his life so he can feel pain every single day.
Hmm.
But you know, I don't want to be too quick to judge because he might have mental problems, so that plays a role also. But I can't say if he's healthy because you can't be healthy and kill your daughter. Absolutely not. So must be some type of mental chemical imbalance or disconnect to take your life of your own daughter. But,
Cool, man. Appreciate that. Um, appreciate that. Yeah, it's a. I know we're straying away, but in my experience is some people see persons like myself or who does stuff like that as if we have problems. But I also found that the only way you get really good is when you doing something to the best of your ability, trying to perfect it, and
correct.
other people just can't see into what you're doing,
Yep.
right? And
Yeah. You need to forget the easiness and try to be excellent. Or intentions over impulse. So a lot of people they're impulsive and they don't do it with the right intention. So
all right.
because easiness will betray you in the end, but if you do it with intent, it's who you are and how you do things.
It's just like the singers and the guys who are behind the scenes, like they want something just that way. They have an ear for that, but other people just
Exactly.
can't hear it.
Yep. It's like no, there's something wrong. There's something wrong.
Yeah.
Quick story. I remember Henry Cecil had a horse, and he kept saying there's something wrong with the horse. It was supposed to be a good horse, and he said I can't put my finger on it, but there's something wrong with this horse. It doesn't look complete. So anyway, the horse was not a very good racehorse, and when the horse finally died, they did an autopsy on it, and the horse was missing two ribs. And I don't know if that's what he was seeing, but he knew something wasn't like there's something wrong with it. There's something it doesn't look. But anyway, so that's right in line with what you're saying.
Yeah. All right, you
All
fire away,
right,
man. Let's
I'm
go.
ready. So, would you ever return to Barbados to live? If yes, why? And if no, why? And when I say live permanently,
Permanently.
yes.
Uh, definitely. Definitely, I would return to live. Reason why is because I think I'm craving a piece of I'm craving that part of my life where I can finally live there and not have to worry about um, all the issues that I grew up when I was there with. So once I get to that point in my life where I'm that comfortable, then I think I can make that move, and that's the ultimate goal for me. Because the reason why I say that is because when I visit, I see a lot of successful people who are spending a lot of their life there. And I think I would like to be there too because the weather is nice, the people are nice. you know, there's pretty much everything you need except for all the other stuff that we kind of like accumulate here that's not really necessary. The only kicker it really is having good healthcare available consistently.
Right.
Not that there's not how good healthcare there, but it's just the waiting and having the right formula and whatever. But
Right.
yeah, definitely that's the ultimate goal. Um, would be to be back there living. Because I'll tell you what, Darwin, it also I've seen it like get a good night's sleep if you're problem free. You get a good night's sleep, and you get up early and you get things going, and then you eat, and before you know it, it's time to sleep again.
That sounds like retirement.
Yeah, well, it probably will be because I'm so much a city person here too that I like to do a lot of stuff right now. Now that I got enough energy.
Right. All right. Good answer. Good answer, though. With unlimited resources, what will you do? Work or just projects?
With unlimited resources,
Yeah, unlimited. That's the key. Unlimited.
when I work or just projects.
Hmm.
Um, shoot. To be honest, unlimited resources, I probably would probably just work because I think projects would take a lot of resources. Um,
It,
um, yeah, I think it would. I think projects would take a lot of resources, but it depends on the projects too because I do like projects. I'm if but you said again if unlimited resources, so I
unlimited.
think I'll
Yeah.
just work, man. I'll give you the answer like that. I'll just work. I think I'll just
Oh,
work.
yeah. That is a strange answer because I mean, most of the people I know that have unlimited, they're like close to retiring or have somebody run the stuff and they take off and have fun, do fun stuff. You know.
Yeah, but I'm thinking right now with two daughters and a wife, and I ain't got no resources, and I,
You
I
see?
need to make some money.
Okay. All right. So you'll work.
I have to work.
All right. So this is basically work. So what do you do? What do you like to be comfort with when you're sad or stressed out?
Oh man. Um,
It's a
you know what?
question.
When I'm if I'm sad or stressed out, I like tranquility,
Okay.
and I don't like congestion. I don't like to be congested. I don't like things all around me. It just sends me effing freaking crazy. I'll be honest with you. So when I'm sad or stressed out, I just like space where I can think. I like to breathe. I like to think. I that's I like to think. I like to think. Yeah, think.
So a nice spa day then, huh? I said a nice spa day, going to the spa, relaxing.
Yeah, I actually had something very close to that for my birthday last month, and it was kind of refreshing.
Well, congrats. I love that too. I love nice mani and pedi and a massage. Oh my god. The best part of my spa days is that I used to go to this place and it's like 3 or 4 hours. You get a massage, you get your feet done, whatever, and then at the end, when you go into the changing room to change back into your clothes, there's a personal kit with toothpaste, a toothbrush, and I think that's such a nice touch. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So when I tell people that story, they're like, "Well, I just got to give you a toothpaste and toothbrush, and you're good to go." But it's just that like final, thanks for your $385, sir. Here's a toothbrush. Well, it's a
Yeah.
nice gesture. You might be going back to
Yeah.
work or whatever. Yeah. All right. Do you play a musical instrument?
Actually, I don't. I don't. I've tried for a long time. Um, I dabble with just experimenting with the guitar. I don't. I watch my daughter now play the guitar, and Now we thought she was doing pretty okay, and then she says she don't like playing the guitar, and but she plays the piano, and so that's for me is real refreshing because, sometimes I come in here and say just play the piano, play. I just want to hear you play,
Yeah.
and for me, we were down in Florida, and we were visiting a friend, and the friend they said they have a piano, but nobody knows how to play or whatever, and I say, oh, our daughter, she plays the piano, and we say, go on play, and she walked right over and started playing, and I was just sitting back just enjoying it.
Just enjoying it. Very nice. Very, very
Yeah.
nice. That would be a nice moment. I like that
Yeah,
story.
but I wish I could play an instrument. I can't. We used to mess around DJing with my brother. My brother's a DJ, so back in the days, in late teenage years and early 20s, we used to DJ. So I used to be the mic man, and
Okay.
and for me that was me playing an instrument, just controlling the
The
crowd.
microphone. Yeah, get your hands up. All right. That's an
Yeah, man, that
instrument.
was it.
I have to write that down. Microphone. Musical instrument.
Yeah.
Most people can play. All right. Who do you like in the Barbados Derby tomorrow and why?
Well, well, I'm gonna root strictly for Tishawn Hazelwood, riding the horse for Charlie Jones.
Heidi
Um,
Marie.
yeah, just for Charlie Jones. Just because it's him, I want to see him do well. Not I don't wish for other people to do well, but but I think he's having I, okay. Let me explain the reason why. Because you know you kind of build a relationship with people that you talk with, here and there. And it seems like he left Barbados a couple of years ago. Um, after uh, tasting a little bit of success in Barbados, and he traveled to Florida. He looks like he's going to be in a good barn with
Safi.
Safi, so, but he hasn't seen the success that he probably thinks that he should have
Yeah, it
be
hasn't
trying to
panned
get.
out. It hasn't
Yeah, it
panned
hasn't
out.
panned out. Yeah, so I'd like to see guys like that. Just they get the opportunity that they jump right back in the spotlight again, remind people, look, here I am. I'm still available. I'm still here. I'm still doing my thing. So I would love to see him win it just for his sake.
Yeah. Well, he look. The jockey colony that he joined is a very, very strong colony, especially in the winter. That winter meet, you have about 10 jockeys that can probably be leading rider anywhere in the country at any time. So it's hard to get rides in the winter. And then summer and spring and summer meets, Safi Rise, Zayas. He has like two or three other guys that he'll ride because they don't ride for him in the winter. So to Sean, that was a hard colony. I'm glad he won some races and he got some rides. But my advice to him would be go to a smaller track, get your business up, maybe win a couple titles there, and then try a Gulfstream again or New York circuit or somewhere else. But he has to go to a smaller track and more or less reinvent himself and come back. But I don't want to say this to sound mean, but right now I think Gulfstream is a dead end. He's just I don't see him getting the opportunity, and I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but chances are I don't see him getting the opportunity to further his career at Gulfstream Park.
Yeah, I can see that because right after this summer, like there's gonna be going into the cold season. Then
Correct.
all the jockeys come right back down there again,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get away from the cold, and
Yeah. The big
then you're
boys come
pushing
back.
aside again.
Correct. So if you're not going to make hay at this time of the year, it's not going to be that Christmas meat. And
But
Safi likes to win that meat too, so he's going to go with the best on the best and hope for the best.
But here's the thing, though. I know we're not here to talk about that, but here's the thing. The thing is this is they often say, like, especially here in Canada, I'm not sure about the US. I assume it's probably the same way, but they say, okay, you come in here to this country or whatever, and you've got some experience. Like, there's people coming from different parts of the world who might be sort of like a doctor, or maybe under a doctor or whatever, but they say, but hey, you don't have the experience here in this country, so you'll have to go work at a factory, and that has
Right.
happened.
Hmm.
um, but if you don't give that person the chance and the opportunity, how do they, how do they gain that trust and that success?
But here's the flip side of it, right? I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm just showing you. Devil's advocate. Shafi does not owe him that opportunity. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people will probably be mad for me to say that or whatever, but that's the honest to God truth. He gave you as much as to bring you here. You have right to work, right for everything. You get established. You give your couple winners. Now you can go off and do your own thing. That's my side of it. I'm not taking the trainer's side in this one. I'm just saying that is highly possible. But thank the guy for the opportunity and move on.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. Agree with the fact that if if all sides are mutual, and say, hey, look, I give you a chance. Here's a chance to to for people to see you. Here's a chance to build relationships, whatever. And yeah, you just move on and you go on and do your thing. I'm not saying I don't know that part of them, but I'm just saying, to me, I would love to see him get back in the winners spotlight
Yeah, me too. I mean, he
for
was
his
he was
sake.
my guy. He's my guy. So I
Plus,
would
there's two
love that to happen
connections.
for him. Yep.
There
Oh
was two
yeah.
connections for me. I recently spoke with Slade Jones, and he put me on to Tayshawn. So,
Hmm.
and I spoke with Tayshawn, and then I was like, okay, there's a connection there with them. So I like to see, I like to see that happen.
Oh, they're
And
good
that being,
kids. They're good kids. The two of those, Tashana and Slade, good writers.
yeah, yeah, good conversation too.
All right, my brother. Well, next week, 5 on 5. Questions will get tougher. You might need to go see somebody after next week. Enjoy your Canadian weekend. I wish it was a long weekend for us also, but maybe you'll get your prime minister up there to take over America, and then we can have long weekends.
I don't think you guys would allow that.
You can make America become a providence.
We all already say you don't want kings, and apparently we still have a king. So
Where? Oh yeah, we got ties to the king, but he's not a real king.